What's up, rich people? So today I want to go over Ribbon Finance, and what Ribbon Finance does is it uses the asset that you provide as collateral to sell options for now. Okay, and it does these automated option selling strategies, and we'll go over a couple different products that they offer. Okay, so let's start with a simpler one. We'll go to the USDC options put selling strategy, the ETH put selling strategy. Okay, so what this does is it uses your USDC as collateral, and it sells put options at a certain strike price, weekly put options at a certain strike price. Okay, so just to go over things a bit, a put option is the right to sell an asset at a certain strike price. So if I'm selling a put option to you, that gives you the right to sell, let's say it's ETH at a certain price. So if the ETH price today is 4,000 and I'm selling you a put option at 3,000 that expires next Friday, let's say, if the ETH price is above 3,000, your put option is going to expire worthless. Because the market, you'd rather sell ETH at a higher price to the market than sell to me for 3,000. If the ETH price is less than 3,000, you would sell your ETH to me at a price of 3,000, and because that's higher than the market price, and that means you can make money off that. So this strategy is good for when, because this strategy involves selling put options, as the protocol sells options, this strategy assumes basically either a neutral ETH or a not that volatile ETH, or basically you assume that ETH isn't going to go down too far too fast. Okay, so right now ETH is about 4,200. And just for example, this strike price that expires in a couple of days is 3,500. Okay, so basically this selling strategy assumes that ETH won't go below 3,500 by this upcoming Friday, and today's Tuesday, which is in a couple of days. Okay. So the way this does that is it uses your USDC to buy to mint put options on the Opyn protocol, mints O tokens on the Opyn protocol, and then does a batch auction on the Gnosis protocol to sell to market makers, to sell that put option to market makers. All right. So let's go down to the withdrawal. So there is a withdrawal fee of 1%. It also uses 90% of the funds towards the strategy and at least 10% for withdrawals. So the risk here obviously is, not obviously, but the risk here is if ETH, let's say, crashes really hard, and so like I said, today it's 4,200 roughly, and if by Friday, which is in a few days, the ETH price is below 3,500, this strategy will lose money, right? But the idea is week after week, generally to sell out of the money put options, right? So that the option isn't worth anything and isn't executable, and the protocol just collects the premium. The strategy just collects the premium week after week. Okay. So this protocol generally is up. It's up about 6% since May. There was that big crash, I believe, around May, where it did lose. It did lose with that on that week. You could even check your profit calculator and check your profit here. So this is similar to what I was saying. Today the ETH price is 4,206 right now. If the ETH price goes below, this is about 3,500 roughly. That's when you start. Oh no, so this is the premium. So this is 3,500. This is basically considered the premium that you have. So you could still make money if it's a little below 3,500, but there's a you have that cushion of the premium. If it goes below 34.77, that's when the strategy starts to lose money. Okay, and you can kind of play with that and check and see where the price, what percentage gain or loss you'll have depending on the price. Okay, and you can see the price expires in 2 days and 12 hours. That's about Friday. Okay, so the issue here, you could say, is that your USDC, not issue, but one of the things is your USDC kind of sits idle as collateral in the options contract without gaining yield. So it's kind of capital inefficient, right? So this, what Ribbon Finance did is it kind of updated this contract, and it lets you use your USDC, but it also added another yield generating asset. What it does is it takes your USDC now and deposits it into the Yearn vault for USDC, which earns yield, and then it uses that Yearn vault USDC as collateral to sell put options. So it's the same thing. It's the same strategy, but the collateral now is the Yearn vault USDC, the USDC which gains yield, which gains yields in Yearn, which Yearn is a yield aggregator, so that your USDC isn't sitting idle for that week after week, and so it kind of stacks your yield, okay, which is really capital efficient and increases the yield even further. So as you can see, this one, it started in June, and its cumulative is 22%. And yearly, that turns out to be about 38% on your USDC, which is one of the higher yields you're going to get in DeFi right now. Now, there's still that risk. It's still the same idea. It still has that 3,500 strike price. If this Friday ETH is below 3,500, this strategy can earn a negative yield. I mean, you can lose money. But the idea is that the strike price will stay out of the money, and the protocol will gain yield week after week. All right. So that covered the yield generating option strategies that involve stablecoins, that involve USDC. Ribbon Finance also has products that involve using ETH as collateral as well. So ETH and wrap Bitcoin. So they're similar strategies. They both have V1 and V2, and we're just going to focus on the ETH covered call, the ETH covered call seller strategy, the covered call strategy. So the main difference between V1 and V2 is V2 is more decentralized and more automated. We're going to go over the V1 strategy first, just so you can understand the V2 one a little better. So what this does is it sells call options at a higher strike price, so that the strategy makes money when the options expire out of the money. So when the options expire less than the strike price. So for example, this upcoming week, the strike price was set at 5,000. Right now, the ETH price is 4,200 roughly. So if ETH is less than 5,000, the strategy just collects the premium, collects whatever it's sold, so 51 ETH, and nobody is going to be able to exercise their call option. And just a reminder, a call option is the option to buy an asset at that strike price. So if the market price of ETH on Friday is 4,800, it doesn't make sense to exercise that option, because you can't exercise the option at 5,000 because you could just buy it at 4,800 on the market. If the market price is, let's say, 5,500, it makes sense to exercise this call option, because you could buy ETH at 5,000 on this call option and sell it for 5,500 on the market. So you could pocket that difference, right? That's kind of one of the use cases for a call option. Okay, you're basically assuming, if I'm buying a call option, you're assuming that the ETH price will go up higher. Now, this strategy in Ribbon Finance sells call options, so it uses ETH as collateral to sell call options. Meaning, if you're going to use a strategy yourself, if you're going to deposit ETH yourself, which you could do here, you are basically capping your gains. So if ETH today is 4,200 and the strike price is 5,000, your max gain is going to be at 5,000, and everything over that, you kind of you don't have that that gain. You don't get that gain. You sold the option for that gain, basically. Okay, you could even see that here. So there's 5,000. This little pocket here is the premium, right? So because you did get a premium, your premium basically decreases. You still get a premium in 5,005, 5,010, but your premium decreases until it gets to 5,017. After that, you're at negative yield for the week. All right. Now, this V1 strategy, that strike price is determined. First off, that vault only uses 90% of the funds to use as collateral, and also the strike price is determined by somebody at the Ribbon team, by basically the manager, or by the Ribbon team, by people, by humans. All right, so that's the big difference between V1 and V2. And V2, the strategy deposits 100% of its ETH, so it's more capital efficient. And it also, the strike price is determined algorithmically. So with all this, it basically averages about 0.5%, 1% a yield a week, which goes to 30% APY, which is really, really high of an ETH yield in DeFi. You're not going to find that anywhere else. Now, there is obviously a risk here. You're getting that yield because you're taking a risk with your ETH, and you're trusting this protocol, and you're taking smart contract risk. You're trusting the algorithm that the Ribbon Finance team has produced. So you are taking a risk here. But that's totally up to you whether you feel it's worth it or not. And on top of that, they also take a management fee of 2% and a 10% performance fee, right? So every week, depending on the performance, the Ribbon Finance protocol will take 10% and of just the gain, and it'll take a 2% annualized management fee of the total assets under management. Okay, so this is definitely more risky, but it's really, really much higher yield that you're going to get than anywhere else. And this strategy is similar in the wrap Bitcoin strategy. It's the same strategy, just using wrap Bitcoin instead of ETH. So I hope that explains options a little better. So I hope you're able to understand options a little better. I hope you're able to use this protocol and decide if it's right for you, depending on your risk tolerance. Remember, there is smart contract risk. This is a relatively new protocol, but it seems like it has been doing well, so it's going to be up to you. And the whole idea here is to give you just more tools you could use in order to increase your wealth, in order to take the wealth you want to take. That's the idea. All right. Good luck and take all the money.